Okay, welcome. I'm glad to be joined by Vydūnas Trapinskas, the Director of Work in Lithuania, the program at Invest Lithuania. This is a program which aims at raising awareness of Lithuania as a place for top tech talent that might be underrated as a place to work as a professional in tech. And we're going to explore some of the dynamics behind that today and what's brought Lithuania to this place of being in the boom that it is. So welcome so much, Vydūnas.
Thank you for having me. Good day, Lucinda and everyone.
We'll jump right in. Lithuania is one of the fastest growing startup ecosystems in Central and Eastern Europe. What are the conditions that have catalyzed this change, and how has it impacted the labor market from what you've seen?
Look, we are a young country, first and foremost, with a young economy that's growing quite fast. And there is a lot of energy and a lot of dynamism and a lot of people who are just want to make something happen, like they're hungry. So I guess that's one of the main conditions, like people by themselves trying to do something. And what they're up to, the companies and the startup ecosystem are not like I would say not the standard ones. So the stories are not the standard ones because they are not just like VC funded startups. They were created by the co-founders and founded by themselves by learning, by doing method and trying to understand how to achieve the success and how to become a global company. So like in the past 10 years, people were working in this tech ecosystem and saw how to build a global companies without VC investment. And now we have a second generation of the creators of the startups who previously worked in the first startups of the unicorns, and now they create their own. Those two main conditions are like the people by themselves and how they created those startups and which eventually became a unicorn. And their impact to the labor market, of course, is significant. They created until now more than 18,000 jobs and are contributing to our economy significantly. And as you remember, 6-7 years ago, one of the main shortage of the profession was like product owners. So they're creating products, but they don't have enough of the product owners to lead them and to enter the market. And the education system is not into it. They don't have programs for the product owners, and the ecosystem had to create it like by themselves internally, to train them internally, to have these little cozy meetings for the potential product owners to share their knowledge and their experience. So like what I'm getting to that I see this ecosystem as a university with a very flexible concept of learning by doing, because that what people achieved here doesn't not having any help from the outside, but just by themselves trying to figure out how to do. And now we have worldwide known brand names such as Vinted or Not Security, which did it.
Mm-hmm. And these kind of brand names are obviously bringing more VC in the direction of Lithuania, which it sounds like is an incredibly kind of self-sufficient ecosystem, which now has learned to be extremely resourceful. How is the country standing amongst the whole of Europe's tech ecosystem and those big tech players? How is it shifting as a result of this disruption?
Yeah, so overall, it's been quite an economic success, I would say, for the whole country in the last 30 years. So if you take a timeline from 2000 to 2020, we were first in the EU for GDP per capita growth. We were first in the EU for the annual wage salary growth. And our standard living here, I would say, would be comparable to Western European countries. And of course, one of the factors are Lithuanian startup ecosystem, which helped to do that. And it's one of the fastest growing now. And I checked that it's the second largest in the Central and Eastern Europe. So I have a few numbers for you. So between 2018 and 2023, Lithuanian startup ecosystem value grew more often than sevenfold. So it reached up to 14 billion euros. So positioning is at the fastest growing in the Baltic region. And in 2023, Lithuanian startups raised almost 300 million in venture capital. So we see that investor confidence is quite here, and they're investing in our startups. And moreover, I want to mention also in our fintech ecosystem, in which we are also known. And Lithuania is the largest fintech hub in Europe, hosting more than 260 companies here. And if you can imagine, 1 of 10 Europeans are provided with the payment services from Lithuanian fintech companies.
I've spoken to a couple of Lithuanian fintech companies, and it always surprises me how much fintech talent is coming out of this one small ecosystem. So yeah, I definitely recognize what you're saying. One attribute that's generally used to describe Lithuania and the Central and Eastern Europe region in general is this like collaborative nature between different countries, between different governments, and between different sectors. And it really seems to drive this general efficiency and resourcefulness. How have you seen different aspects of Lithuania's tech sector work together to drive this growth?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, one of the main things I would say that tech sector by itself created Unicorns Lithuania Association 4 years ago. So they decided at that moment that we need an association that could gather all the like problem solving, sharing knowledge, events, and so on. And they now unite more than 120 tech companies. So that was a significant role in our ecosystem to gather everyone up under one umbrella and to start all that knowledge sharing. And especially they're really focused on to new startups, to give them the heads up, to give them formats to meet mature investors, mature entrepreneurs, to know all the tips and tricks how to evolve in this ecosystem. Later on, we have a few hub places like Vilnius Tech Park or Cyber City, which were built to foster that ecosystem and to have for the companies a place to collaborate. So, for example, in Cyber City, there is more than 3,000 citizens working there and more than 10 companies. So when you are in that life cycle, in that ecosystem, when you enter there, it's really promising and fulfilling to flourish it under one space. And we're looking up to also another spaces in Vilnius. Could be one of the largest tech hubs in Vilnius, which is now under construction by Tech City. So yeah, also we have a few government initiatives, programs like Startup Lithuania or Vilnius Tech Fusion. So they're also helping startups to develop and to succeed. So as you can see from all the angles, startups are being taken care of and quite moving on today.
Yeah, it's good to hear that, as well as at that like macro level between different major players, that there's so much collaboration being facilitated at like between companies and founders and people who are just kind of starting out, because it seems like that's the attitude that really distinguishes the region. What kinds of tech professionals do you think that Lithuania's tech sector really needs to move it up to the next level?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll start with the soft skills. Hungry people with the hungriness, initiative, and willingness to keep learning, because you can develop career here quite fast if you have the right motivation. We are fast-paced, dynamic ecosystem, small country. You can reach like billions of market of users with the country of 3 million people bureaucracy. So what I'm meaning that there's like no bureaucracy here. You can do things quite easily. And on their hard skill set, we have like 3 main directions in which the main need applies. So software developers and engineers, then data scientists and AI specialists, and of course cybersecurity specialists. So the presence of companies like Nord Security underscores the need of cybersecurity specialists.
And what do you think are the main factors that hold people back from making the move to Lithuania for work?
Yeah, we know that we are not well known. So I guess that's the main challenge: awareness and perception of Lithuania. We have quite limited global awareness. Okay, thanks to the unicorns and those brands, we're being well known in certain sectors, but we still have a lot of job to do here. That's why we have Work in Lithuania program, and also like other municipalities, agencies like Go Vilnius or Kaunas. They're doing all the marketing activities and trying to tell the story about Lithuania and the cities here and the tech system. Then, of course, like relocation logistics and all the immigration procedures, which could be quite complex. But hey, we have like international companies here which have done that not the first time, and we are here to help. So I would say it's just a matter of perception and trying. If you try, we will help you to do that, and it will not be as complex as you can think. Yeah, maybe cold weather. You get like 4 seasons here. You can experience like full 4 seasons here. It's beautiful and not hot in summer. But in winter, like people usually like to work remotely from I don't know, Turkey, Spain, or other countries, and companies give you that possibilities to do a remote work quite for a few months during a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess you can't do very much about the weather, but it seems like you've managed to alleviate a lot of those problems. I'd love to get your opinion on, do you think that awareness is changing? It seems, from what I'm seeing, it seems like that Central and Eastern Europe is having a little bit of a moment, and Lithuania as well, that they're really kind of coming into the limelight. Is that something that you're sensing and seeing on the ground?
Yeah, we're sensing it mainly based on the numbers of international talent seeking to come here and to start working in our companies and in our ecosystem. So we have quite a lot of inquiries. What's it look like here? What's the migration procedures? What the companies do we have, and so on. And we see in the statistical data that there's a change of high value added talents coming here to Lithuania. So yeah, but it's not so rapid as we would expect. But yeah, there is definitely a change if you look back like 5-7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Seems like it's the place to be. You've covered a lot of this, but I'd love to hear more about how you what work in Lithuania is doing to make reduce those challenges. How are you working with different stakeholders to bolster Lithuania's tech talent pool?
Yeah, of course. So we are closely working with the companies and trying to hear and understand what challenges they're facing. And we are closely monitoring all the government initiatives and especially public sector services. So one of the best examples, I would say, what we recently did, it's we created a one-stop shop for the integration of foreign talent. So if you come to Lithuania, to another country, and for the integration you need to visit migration department, visit other institutions to, I don't know, set up kindergartens or schools for your family, to try to understand what are the taxation system here, and for that you need to go to 5-7 different places. So what we did, we created one-stop shop. It's called International House Vilnius, where foreign talent can come there and find all specialists in one place and under one building. So there you can get all the services, and that's I would say one of the best practices from foreign talents, which we're hearing that really improved their satisfaction of relocating here, and it's now expanding. Like other cities like Klaipėda and Kaunas are also creating such a one-stop shop places.
Mm-hmm. It seems like Lithuania is one of those examples of countries where entrepreneurship can make such a huge difference, and it can be very, very infectious in terms of the community has the right attributes for it anyway, but then it seems to have made such a difference to the economy, and it shows, and Lithuania is now making such a difference to Europe's tech ecosystem in its own way. Thank you very much for joining us, Vydūnas, and thanks for sharing your insights.
Thank you.